Hi everyone. We are Team Sensual Concrete and our goal is to give concrete feelings again. So what's the problem? It's pretty obvious. Slabs break while we construct them. And we have data from a construction company, around 30 to 40% of large construction slabs will actually have some kind of damage. Now, how does the slab construction work? It's basically a pretty simple process: formwork, rebar, concrete pouring, and post-treatment. But what most people don't know, the post-treatment is a highly sophisticated and complicated process, and that's where things actually can go wrong. So that's what we decided to focus on. You can do different stuff. You can decide when to remove your formwork. You can decide how and when to cover the slab. You can decide to cover it with chemicals. But in order to do all that, you need to know how the concrete feels.
Yeah, and we believe concrete can be treated better with data and visualization. And for this, we had a look at the human being. So what do you do when you're cold? You're taking a sweatshirt on. But what about the concrete? You can't do anything. Yes, we know that we already have several sensors on the market, but we mostly have data like this. And with Forge, we try to make data like this, visualization.
So what we actually did, we are Forge new timers. We didn't know about Forge before we came, so we had to get into it. So we wrote something that puts the sensor data that we got from a master's thesis into the model. We have two different things we can show. This is an animation for the construction site workers. They just see white, okay, everything is good. Blue, oh, the component temperature is colder than we would expect it. And red, the temperature is hotter than we expected it to be. So it's pretty easy. Let's say we're not happy with the blue color, so let's decide we want to understand what's going wrong. So we have a second feature. You can actually get the visualization of the real temperature. So now it's slowly getting warmer, the parts, hydratization energy, and now it's cooling off again slowly. And of course, this is not very sophisticated. This is just the first step. But ultimately, the idea would be to combine all kind of data that's relevant for the concrete quality into this Forge model. So actually engineers can understand what happens. Oh. Yeah, I got it.
We have enough time.
So one thing that would be possible is just click on one slab and see the history of the temperature. But what would be even more interesting is combine more sources of data into our system. So for example, ready-mix concrete trucks. Sometimes we have the problem that they just don't find the right slab and they will drive around. Now, if we have this visualized, as you can see here, obviously that's just a demo, then the engineers can actually understand what went wrong. And then they can decide on the right post-treatment measure. Okay, that's our visualization.
Yeah, and how concrete could share its feelings in the future with us. This is just a demo. Instead of having concrete like this, or concrete wall like this, we could have a concrete wall like that. With using AR, VR, we will be able to see such videos. And the benefits of the Sensual concrete would be that we definitely have a higher quality and a longer lifetime for the concrete parts. We can find problems earlier, and we have an earlier average removal of framework. Documentation is clear, and in situations when we need lawyers, we will have the lawsuits due to the concrete failures. Yeah. And these were our sensors. Thank you.